When she's older, my daughter will probably hate me for saying this, or even thinking it. But I didn't want to have a girl. My son was about to turn 2 that Father's Day morning when I peed on the stick and realized we were going to have another baby. My Junius was finally starting to sleep more at night. Life was just beginning to feel manageable again. And while I was excited to be pregnant, I was equally overwhelmed by the idea of doing it all again. As the weeks went by, my second pregnancy mirrored the first. I was tired but never sick and only occasionally queasy. Girth increased steadily with weight, matching the first pregnancy pound for pound and inch for inch, week by week. This baby is a boy, I thought, just like the first. If it were a girl, I would know. I would feel different. I would be vomiting. But everything was the same, and I was so relieved. I imagined we would become Cyndi and the boys. Our sons would be buddies and build Legos and play basketball. My husband would take them camping and fishing on the weekends, while I stayed home and went for pedicures and read books. Yes, they might be loud or messy, but it would be worth it. It's the American way. Boys love their mamas. They would love me and cherish me and never, ever turn on me. Because ladies, let's be honest, we save the really bad shit for our mamas. I wasn't a crazy or a rebellious kid. I've always had a good relationship with both of my parents. But in my teen years, something changed. I was mean to my mother and treated her in ways that I never would my father. Even when I wasn't upset with my mom, I still held back my disaster meltdown moments until she was the only one around to deal with me. The best of daughters seem to go through rough times with their mothers, and that's the good ones. The rest wind up hating their moms, vowing never to be like them, and rolling their eyes and yelling obscenities at them. So when the ultrasound revealed that this new baby was a girl, I was terrified, and I hated myself for it. I was supposed to be excited. A son and a daughter, one of each. Isn't that what everyone wants? Slugs and snails meets sugar and spice, the perfect family. Except that I wanted a match set. Wouldn't it be so much easier and so much less frightening to have another boy? I was getting good at being a boy mama. Starting over with a newborn was scary enough without the specter of one day having to share my house with a hormonal preteen girl. For 2 weeks, my husband and I didn't tell anyone that we'd found out it was a girl, not even our parents or our son. We practiced at home saying she and her instead of it and the baby. We talked about girl names. We thought about friends who had painted their nurseries pink in preparation, only to discover on birthday that their baby had been hiding his little boy parts when the ultrasound tech was looking. Maybe the ultrasound was wrong. But of course it wasn't wrong. Our baby girl arrived as scheduled on February 22nd, 2008, beautiful and round and perfect. Turns out I was wrong about not wanting a daughter. The last months of my pregnancy gave me time to get used to the idea. When she was born, I already knew her, and I loved her immediately. 5 years later, Pippi is sweet and funny and crazy smart. She sings and dances constantly through each day, strutting her stuff in pink cowgirl boots and mismatched outfits that she picks out herself. She possesses a powerful confidence at age 5 that will carry her very, very far in life. But it also turns out I was kind of right to be afraid. Pippi may only be 5, but she's already giving me a run for my money. She saves her worst behavior for me and her best for her teachers. She tells lies and tests limits and pushes my buttons in ways that make me grind my teeth and sometimes bang my head into my hand. She is a daddy's girl. Apparently it takes one to make one. And she already seems to know that she can be meaner to me than she treats him. She is the best and the worst of having a daughter, and I am lucky to have made her. So I try hard to give her the most important things my mother has always given me: a patient ear, a loving heart, a shoulder to cry on, and a wonderful father for the many times ahead when she doesn't want any of those things from me.